So hello everyone, welcome to another video of the series Fun with Python, and in this video we will be discussing about if-else statement. Okay, tricky question, or you can say very interesting questions with if-else, and in this way we will be uncovering, or like we'll be learning more fundamental knowledge about if-else statement, and most of your doubts will be cleared if you follow along in this video. And again, as we say, like if you follow all the episodes of this Fun with Python series, you will be interview ready. Okay, most of the tricky question, whatever is asked in the question, you will be ready, right? So let's start with the first question. Okay, truthy and falsy values. Okay, here in this example, what we are doing, we are trying to initialize the variable x with an empty list. Okay, now we are trying to check if x print true, else print false. Okay. Now, guys, what do you think the answer might be? Will it be true or it will be false? Whenever we assign something like if it is a value called none, in that case, definitely we can say it will be the false option. Okay. Because it checks for true or false, right? Now, I will allow you guys to comment your answer, right? We'll wait for some time and hopefully you have already commented your answer. Now we will run this. Okay. So you can see that the value of false. Now, if you are still wondering why the answer is false, okay, I will reveal it, guys. Because whenever we initialize something with an empty list, the value of that, like in case of if else, it will be a falsy condition. Okay, it means the condition would be false, and in case of false, it will go to the else statement and it will print false. Okay, now guys, let's move to the next question. It is called short circuit logic. Now, what is happening? We are trying to assign two values a comma b to 0 1, right? And definitely, like the value a will hold, it will be 0, and b will be holding a value 1. Okay. Now, what we are doing? We are doing if a or b print yes, else print no. If a or b print yes, else print no. Right? So what do you think? What would be the answer? What will basically or operator do? Will it check for the existence of A and B, or it will do something else? Okay. So again, like you can comment what do you think the correct answer is. And here we run. The value of is yes. Because like A or B, what it will do, it will basically check the values. Like if either of the values are non-zero, then it will print. In other scenarios, or operator basically it will add. Okay. So if one, then definitely one is not a false condition. It will go to the true condition. Okay. The truthy value, and it will print yes. So that was the answer, guys. Hope you are learning like how in this if else and condition, how we are calculating the truthy or the falsy values, right? So with this, let's move to the next question. Empty string versus none. Many a time, see, like before discussing this question, many a times, even we, like when we started with coding, we are very much confused. What is the difference between none or an empty string? Okay, empty string means it is some value. okay, it will allocate some space, but it will not have any like string present there, right? That means you have reserved space for something, and there is like no assignment there. It is definitely a string, but you have not assigned any value to it. But none means it is not reserving any space. Okay, so there is a difference. In the first instance, we are reserving a space, but in none, we are not reserving a space as well, right? So let's come back to the question, guys. S equal to an empty string. If S is none, print none. Else, if not S, print empty. Else something. So not S means a false condition. Okay. So S is definitely not none. Okay. As I said, like it will assign some values. Now you guys can figure out whether this will go to the elif condition or it will go to the last else condition. Let's uncover the truth. There is some issue, it seems. Okay. The value S is not defined, right? Let's paste the question properly and see. So it is going to the empty. That means that in case of empty list, it was getting equated or evaluated as a falsy value. In case of empty string also, this is getting evaluated as a falsy value. Okay. So that was the learning, guys. Okay, if the list or a string is empty, it will be evaluated as a falsy value. Now, operator precedence trap. Okay, now in this example, what is happening? If 0 less than 5 less than 10, print inside, else print outside. So 0 is less than 5 is true, and 5 is less than 10 is also true. Okay, now what will happen? Will it print inside or it will print outside, right? So let's reveal the answer. It is printing inside. Okay, now the precedence is always on the first operator. Let's suppose 0 is less than 5 and we make this as 5 greater than 10. Now the first operator is giving a correct answer, but the second operator is giving a falsy value. So what will happen? So it will go to the outside. So the last value, whichever is uh, preserved, that will be equated. So first is true, 0 less than 5 is true, but 5 greater than 10 is false. That's why like it actually basically equated as AND operator, and the final operation, whatever is happening, is being returned. So that's why it is coming outside. Okay. So hope this operator precedence many a times, like this will definitely come in the tricky question. Never do we code like this. Okay. Definitely like we'll be coding in two separate parts, like if A is less than B and B is greater than C. So this kind of coding happens, but in interview, you can always expect these kind of question which will test your knowledge, right? So we are moving to the next example where assignment in condition. Okay. So what happens, guys, when we try to assign and then again evaluate its values against another value in a question? So here what we are doing, we are trying to initialize n with the value 3, and then we are trying to evaluate 3 with 2. If 3 is greater than true, 2, print n. So what do you think, guys? what could be the answer? So as you can see, we are getting invalid syntax. Okay, what maybe you meant equal to or this walrus sign instead of equal to. So we cannot assign something with equal to and again evaluate. Okay, instead what is suggested is use the walrus operator. Okay, basically walrus operator, what it does is like it will help us to assign something on the go, and we'll be able to evaluate it as well. So see, like this becomes true, 3 greater than 2 is true, and again we are trying to print the value of n, which is 3. So if you need to assign something on the go and we need to check on some condition, so walrus operator will be your friend here. Okay, now we'll be moving to the next question, next tricky question. Multiple if else condition. Okay, so x equal to 10. If x greater than 10, print a. This will not never ever be printed. We all know that, right? With solving, like after solving so many of questions, okay, uh, till now we are already clear this is not going to be true, guys. Now else if x greater than equal to 10, print b, else print c. Okay, so it might be either of the two, and you can, like, who is already clear on the answer, they can hold on for now. Now the option is B, because obviously like x equal to 10 and this is x greater than equal to 10 means either x is greater than 10 or x equal to 10. If either of the conditions are true, it will go inside this condition and it will print B, which has happened in this case. Right? So let's move to the next question, guys. Nested if falsy variable x equal to 0. If x equal to 0, print 0 inside, else print non-zero, else print outside else. What will happen? Like in the earlier lectures, what we found out that uh, false is equivalent to 0 and true is equivalent to 1. Now is the reverse true? Is 0 equivalent to false and 1 equivalent to true? That we will see in this question. So how do we learn? We learn by executing the code. So it is outside else. Okay. So what is happening? We are trying to initialize x with 0. Now if you see, if x, okay, so we are trying to say if x equal to 0, print 0 inside. So it is not even going inside this if condition, right? So that means if something is having a value 0, it will be going to the falsy condition and it will print the, or do whatever operation we have like written in the falsy condition. Okay, so hope your knowledge is more clear on this, guys. Let's move to the next question. Boolean arithmetic in condition. It is very interesting, like how Boolean operators are equated. So what basically we are doing, we have two variables a and b, true and false, and we are trying to add them and then again equate it, like whether it is equal to 1, print 1 true or not 1 true. If you have followed the earlier episode, like, or the video of this Fun with Python series, most of you will already answer this question, I'm super sure. So this is giving 1 true. So now we will come to the explanation part. What is happening here? If a plus b equal to 1, so a plus b, a is true. True means nothing but numeric 1. Okay, inside it is equated as numeric 1, and false is nothing but numeric 0. Okay, so a plus b is 1. If 1 equal to 1, print 1 true. That's why it is coming as 1 true. Right, guys? And let's move to the second last question of this video. So, string comparison. If ABC less than ABD, print smaller, else print bigger. Now, how string comparison takes place, like in case of greater than or less than, that we'll learn here. Equal to, definitely we know. If two strings are same, then definitely the equal to will give true or falsy values. But what happens in case of like less than or greater than operator? That we'll learn here. So it is coming as smaller. Okay. Now what happens here? Lexicographical analysis happens. Okay. So A, the ASCII value of both A's are same, both B's are same. Okay. So it will go to the next value. The ASCII value of C is obviously less than ASCII value of D. That's why it is going like it is coming as true the value, and we are trying to, we are able to get the value smaller, right? With this, we came to the last question of this episode. So x equal to 0, y equal to 5, print x or y. Okay. So if you have a computer science background, you already know or does nothing but it will add, and operator does nothing but it multiplies. Okay. So I think most of you guys have already guessed the answer. And yeah, we have run it. Now what is happening? X or y, it will add, right? So 0 plus 5 becomes 5, and 0 into 5 becomes 0. Okay, so that was the video, guys, for today. With if else, I think we have discussed many tricky questions, okay, which will somewhere or the other interviewer might ask you, and you are already prepared for your interview. Okay, so please follow this Fun with Python series, guys. You will be like highly benefited. Okay, most of your doubts will be cleared, and you will gain huge amount of knowledge, which will reflect in your confidence whenever you go for the interview. You have seen a lot of questions like these, and you will answer all the questions very confidently. Okay, even if you have a very simple coding background, or if you have just started, still you can follow the entire series. Okay, so please comment down, guys, how do you find the video, whether it was good, it was informative. Okay, if you want any other kind of lectures or like topics to be covered in this series, definitely comment down. We'll try to incorporate. And subscribe to the channel and share with all your near and dear ones. Whoever wants to learn Python, it will be very interesting and very useful, and hopefully it will help in their learning curve. With this, thank you so much, guys. If you have stayed till now, press in the like button as well. Thank you.